Greetings and hello. Now for the final installment in this series, which is child support slavery. Child support demands that men pay the women who intentionally kick them out of the family unit. The woman controls the family, not the man, so any other argument for this is not only inaccurate, but victim blaming. The man always gets blamed for the fault of the woman, and child support is no different. It is just a purely misandric practice out of spite with no basis in helping or supporting children. A better term for it would be wife support. The wife is given free money, even though she is the one who initiated the divorce. There are also zero ways of monitoring whether the money actually goes to the child. This is on purpose. The father is intentionally kept in the dark about where the money is going to, while the state imposes the direct theft of the father's money to pamper the mother. The wife can use the money any place she wants. This is usually why single mothers have expensive goodies while their children are forgotten. Child support is actually pampering and privileging the women to maintain the lifestyle that the husband worked for her. There is nothing here about guaranteeing the welfare of the children, but only of the women's access to the goodies that she demands being fulfilled through state-sanctioned misandry. These goodies can include anything from new bags, phones, or vacations. These have nothing to do with helping or nurturing the child, and only exist for the woman's pleasure. This is the exact reason why some of these mothers have as many children as possible, and yet their kids are in terrible condition. This is because they spend the money all on themselves, and leave the children in neglect. The government knows this as they have social services, but they do not care, since their mode of operation is women first always, with the children being cannon fodder. Women are also the ones who kick the father out of the family unit. The father does not choose to leave, but is instead forced. Men do anything to keep women around, but women use men, then discard them because they do not like men. The mother then automatically gains custody of the child, no matter how better off they would be with the father. This is because of the gynocentric system always favoring mothers. In this way, the children are pawns for the mother which she can hold as a bargaining chip. Some may claim that fathers get custody when they ask for it. This is just another falsified feminist statistic, meant to skew the truth based on lies. It is like the idea of men being inherently violent and the threat narrative of sexless men being dangerous. Feminists always twist statistics, and for them to do so to support the institution of child support slavery is no different. Feminists do not care if the child has to suffer, as long as the mother gets what she wants. Even at the expense of the children being harmed. Mothers can do whatever they want to their children and be let off the hook. This is clearly anti-child and anti-male as society forces, and threatens the man with prison time if he does not want to enable her parasitism. The man is also being doubly punished as he himself has to slave away for a woman who kicked him out, while also knowing that the mother is abusing the child. It is common for there to be many instances where CPS is called to the home of an abusive mother and nothing happens. These mothers also kicked the father out of the family, so now he cannot do anything as the courts won't let him. This is intentionally malicious to attack the father out of pure social dominance. The gynocentric system puts women's desire to get at the father by attacking the children first, over actual child safety. This is another way in which feminism enables the abuse of children. The father also is denied even the basic right of seeing his children. The man pays the mother while not even having access to his kids. This is slavery as the man works and is forced to spend his earned money on a woman, where he is not allowed to see how his children are. This has led to aforementioned situations of abuse by the mother. The best interests of the children are not accounted for, so the excuse of this being for the children is an outright lie. This deprives the children of their father, and treats him as a tool whose only purpose is to provide for the woman. It dehumanizes the father and is done on a massive scale. Men are reduced to workhorses who get used and attacked, while their labor goes to the exalted class, women. They are not seen as parents who should play an equal role in their kids' lives, but as worthless utilities. Women see men this way, so they are all too happy to not give the father even the basic right to see his children, and also spend the money all on themselves. If children's best interests were taken care of, there would be equal enforced shared parenting. This would ensure the child spending equal time with the mother as well as the father. This would mean that the mother would be forced to contribute to the child's well-being as well. The mother would not be able to steal from the father to lavish herself in expensive items. Mothers do not want this to happen, as they know their supply of privilege would get cut and they would be held accountable. This would also greatly eliminate parental alienation, which is done by mothers. This is where the mother tries to smear the father with abusive comments. This has a massive negative psychological impact on the children. Again, if children were really prioritized, then parental alienation would be classified as a form of abuse and be enforced instead of just ignored and encouraged due to gynocentric bias, as society loves to spite men. Therefore, many less children would be harmed by women's instinct of social dominance. Among the worst parts about this is that male rape victims are forced to pay child support. This is a travesty on so many levels that it should be no doubt among the best evidence that we live in a gynocentric world. A victim of rape being forced to pay his perpetrator so that she can benefit. This enables the rape of men and reinforces the fact that women get rewarded for exerting their sadism against men. The feminist claim that we live in a rape culture is actually true, but with men being the victims and women the perpetrators. Men who are not even the father of the child have to pay child support, as the woman may decide to string up a man she knows. This is all done without proof, just at a woman's word. The wishes and desires of the ruling class are put above all standards of equality and justice. A woman can randomly choose a man she has associated with to slave for her and fund her lifestyle, even if the baby is not his. Further proof is that the system does not work both ways. Even if the mother earns a higher paying salary, the father is still responsible for child support. This goes without saying that women demand men conform to the rigid provider gender role or get deselected. In other words, the majority of child support would still be paid by men, even if women with higher incomes had to pay. So for both ways it is state-enforced slavery of men, where the state forces men to fund the women's expensive lifestyle and is not about the child at all. The purpose of child support is to spite the man. It is done as a flex of female social dominance and to privilege women at the expense of men. It's also blaming the man for something the mother does, which is kicking him out of the family unit. For the gynocentric system, this ensures that women get more resources while also punishing the father at the behest of the woman. It is pure usury and a spit in the face to the father and the actual interests of children. If it was about children, then the mother would be held accountable for kicking the man out of the home. Shared parenting would also be enforced so that the children get to spend time with both parents. But instead, society chooses to leave children with abusive, socially dominant mothers, while making the father slave away so that she could steal his money and use it for herself. Society can either be gynocentric and throw children under the bus with men, or be pro-male, which also means being pro-child. If society keeps going with the former route, more children and men will suffer due to being abused by parasitic mothers.